show you something. Let me show you something.
don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical. Don't wanna let you know you're so hypnotic, magical.
Just like somebody at the NCAA must be. I mean, they were undefeated. They won the league, and they have the best player in the country.
At that point, you'd think that they'd be.
Let me know when I should send the audio live.
And they have a
You
nice
said 3 minutes. We still got 3 minutes.
Yeah. But, like, how do I...
Game features the visiting Muhlenberg College Mules against the host, Tufts University Jumbos.
Hello and welcome down to Spicer Field for the regional rounds of the NCAA Division III softball tournament. My name is Jordan Burke, joined here by Sam Brill on the mic. We are here for hopefully all games this weekend, but right now it's game number 1 where the Tufts University Jumbos, ranked 2 in this region, will be taking on the Muhlenberg College Mules, the 3 seed in this region. Sam, what do we have in store for us today?
Jordan, this is a real treat for me as I'm usually spending these days on the over by the baseball field, but 2 excellent teams here in game 1 between Tufts and Muhlenberg, and it's a real treat for me to be able to see Muhlenberg because that is not only where my uncle went, but if they hadn't won their conference tournament, we may not have seen them here at Spicer Field. And that's not to take anything away from them as a team. Certainly had an excellent season led by Sarah Karmazin, whose late game heroics in their conference tournament got them here to Tufts. Of course, this is a neutral site here in Medford, Massachusetts. The Jumbos are likely treating this as a home game, but it is neutral. They are the 2 seed in this region. Also in this region is the Rowan Profs and Cabrini. So those two will play after this game. But Jordan, take me through some of the starting lineups here as they're getting announced for Muhlenberg.
Well, right now we have the Muhlenberg lineup getting announced, and in order, we're going to end up seeing Karmazin, Cicchetti, Zach, Berman, Pallett, Mahee, Coons, Bridgers, and Reichelt. Going to come and play for them today. The pitcher, as previously mentioned, will be Raya Coons. And for the Jumbos, haven't been announced yet, but we'll get to them anyway. We're going to see the lineup that they've been rolling with through most of the playoffs. They saw some things weren't working well for them, swapped it up. And that'll be Murphy, Edelman, Jimenez, Steinberg, Moore, Newman, Jacobson, Russo, Yusupolsky, and pitching none other than Sophia DeCoco.
Yeah, and Sophia DeCoco has really had a special season for the Jumbos. Recently named one of the top 25 players in the nation, and, you know, a sub-1 ERA is really just going to get you there.
Yeah, sub-1 and was once sub .7. She went into the NESCAC tournament with a .61 ERA, got rocked in a couple of those games in the tournament, and is still sub-1, which earned her a spot on that top 25 players list. We will see, or hopefully see, another one of those top 25 players in the later game today. Rowan pitcher Emily August also on that list. But right now, it's all about Tufts and Muhlenberg. So while the Tufts lineup is called out, I will point out a very interesting thing, Sam. Of all the 4 teams in this region, 3 of them won their conference. The other one is the Tufts Jumbos.
Yeah, and that's not to take anything away from the Jumbos either, right? You know, they lost that heartbreaker against Amherst on a safety squeeze up the first baseline. You know, DeCoco doesn't allow a whole lot of base runners, so Amherst had to do everything they could in their power to push that runner along and try to push her across, and they did just that with 2 outs in the 9th inning. So Jumbo's unfortunate to be sent home from that tournament, but fortunate in this one to take a bid into the NCAA tournament and host as well. You know, always a great thing to have home games, and, you know, school just ended for Tufts, finals ending today, so a lot of the student body has been sent home already, but we'll see how many of them actually show up for their softball team today. I know we've got the lacrosse team, the men's lacrosse team hosting Saturday and Sunday, and the women's lacrosse team hosting on Sunday, so still a lot of the Jumbo athletes in the area. We'll see how many of them show up for Tufts today.
Well, taking a quick peek over at the bleachers right now, I'm seeing a couple of young faces, a lot of parents as well. But this game will be underway shortly, and I believe we're going to take a small break for the national anthem.
Today's umpires, crew chief John Palvinick, playing third base. At first base, Rich Wilkinson, and at home plate, calling balls and strikes, Michael Walczyk. Fans, at this time, if able, please rise to honor America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad to the playing of our national anthem.
And with the conclusion of the national anthem means this regional tournament can start to get underway. I believe the Jumbos will be acting as the home team in this tournament. As we said, this will be treated as a neutral site despite the fact that this is the Jumbos' home ballpark. And with that being said, we're going to see DeCoco on the mound to start it off for the Jumbos.
Yeah, the mound, or the pitcher's circle as they call it over here at Spicer Field, Jordan. Yeah, a treat for us to be able to watch DeCoco perform. She's been excellent so far this season. We spoke about it, but her .61 ERA has, at least going into the NESCAC tournament, I mean, it's just incredible. You can't really ask for much better. And in a 7-inning game where you've got one pitcher out there, or you're expecting that one pitcher to take you the distance, Coach Epstein's going to roll with DeCoco and hope to bring her to the promised land. We'll bring you now our defensive arrangement for the Jumbos. Behind the dish, it's going to be Jacobson, again in that pitcher circle, DeCoco, and then from left to right around the diamond, it's going to be Murphy at third base, Steinberg at short, Rachel Moore at second base, and first base is going to be Russo. Left to right again in the outfield, it's going to be Yusuf Polsky, Edelman, and Newman. And Michelle Edelman has also been excellent in center field for the Jumbos this season, seemingly tracking everything down.
Oh, almost certainly. I had the pleasure a couple of games ago to watch her lay out and just rob what would have been a RBI single from, I believe that was the Middlebury game in the NESCAC tournament, as with the throw down to second base, this game's about to get underway. First batter up for the Mules will be none other than Karmazin, looking to pick up where she left off in their conference championship game with her walk-off home run.
Karmazin from Bridgewater, New Jersey, having a great season for the Mules, hitting .301. And again, her late game heroics for this team is what gives them a trip here to Medford.
Karmazin also leads the team with 13 doubles, which is a fantastic stat to lead in. However, DeCoco's specialty is ground balls. She just puts so much spin on her pitches, and that has an impact. As Russo will pick up that ground ball, and quickly there's one out.
Yeah, and a really good job there by Russo, getting over there and digging it out with that backhand and just giving it a quick trot over back to first base to get the Jumbos first out of the game here.
3 unassisted for you scorekeepers out there. I know Sam and I are doing the scorecards ourselves. Up now will be Cicchetti, excuse me, taking strike 1 on the outside edge.
Cicchetti, one of the older players on the diamond, a senior from Long Hill, New Jersey.
Cicchetti was named to the All-Centennial Conference second team, her third time being on one of the All-Centennial Conference teams. Alongside her on that was Karmazin, who we just saw ground out, and usually their pitcher today will be playing shortstop. As that ball is popped in the air, DeCoco settles in underneath it, picks that one up for out number 2.
Yeah, DeCoco doing it all herself there on that one. Nice high and inside pitch. Gets Cicchetti to pop up and putting that one away. So 2 quick outs here for DeCoco.
Entering the batter's box is the very powerful hitter Jillian Zach, leading the team with 5 home runs. Takes ball 1.
Yeah, DeCoco has gone to that first pitch outside fastball a couple of times here. So we're going to see if that's going to be a theme throughout the entire game. But, you know, got to get ahead of these hitters, throwing 2 first pitch balls already.
If I've seen enough of jumbo softball, as that ball is grounded to Rachel Moore, gets it over to Russo for out number 3. And with that, the inning will come to a close. Picking up where I left off, as I was saying, the Jumbos have a interesting setup where the pitchers do not call their own pitches. Coach Laura Epstein is in charge of that one, and she loves establishing that outside edge early in the count for hitters and for DeCoco, as we see the 2 of them having a quick conference as the Jumbos get set for their turn up at bat. They will be facing off against Raya Coons, not the pitcher that one would expect the Muhlenberg Mules to be throwing out there, as their pitcher, Cora Bridgers, was named to the first team All-Centennial Conference. However, she's had a pretty solid season herself.
Yeah, and last season she put up a 4.4 ERA in 3 games started. So this is a pitcher with a little bit of experience here. And going up against the number 2 team in the region, of course you don't want to lose that first game because it sends you down into the loser's bracket of a double elimination tournament. But Coach Leavenworth must have a lot of confidence here in Rhea Coons, number 16 for the Mules. And she looks like she's dealing early. A lot of confidence in that pitcher circle to begin.
Confidence will be key throughout all of these matchups. Even if today goes poorly, you still have 2 very solid teams in Cabrini and Rowan set to play later today at 4:30. But as I said, confidence will help carry your team throughout this entire mini tournament. Leading off for the Jumbos, number 9, Maggie Murphy, one of the more powerful bats in the lineup. If she gets under one, she can certainly take it the distance. First pitch from Coons is hit right back at her slowly. Shortstop is able to pick it up. That was Bridgers picking up the slow grounder and getting it over to Berman for out number 1.
Yeah, and Murphy was hustling down that line, but a pretty routine play there for Bridgers. She puts her away on the first pitch of the game and brings up Edelman.
This is one of the batters that you have to pay a lot more attention to. If she gets on the bases, she's definitely a stolen base threat. Has 17 on the season. 17 stolen bases on 19 attempts, that is. Also one of the Jumbo's better hitters, named to the All-NESCAC first conference team.
That's right, Jordan. 3 triples, so Edelman clearly a speedster for this Jumbo team. And not one that you want to fall behind if you're Rhea Coons. Edelman ahead 2-0 here.
Coons behind in the count. Ready to deal. Edelman takes a strike on the outside edge. Not something that you typically see out of Michelle Edelman. She certainly loves to swing because if she can manage to put a ball in play, she has the speed to... That ball was lined hard to Bridgers, and she's been a huge part of this defense so far already.
Yeah, and Edelman just getting unlucky there. Nice piece of hitting. Put it on a line, but right at the shortstop Bridger. So 2 outs in the inning here for Rhea Coons.
Now the designated player, Bella Jimenez, steps in. First pitch swinging. Ground ball to Bridgers. Throw over. Not in time, I believe. That was great base running by Jimenez in order to leg out an infield single.
Yeah, really good job by Jimenez, hustling all the way down that line. Of course, put that in the 6.5 hole, and Bridgers unable to make a play to her, going away from first base, rather.
Something we might see a lot of from the Jumbos is soft ground ball contact. However, not quite there as Steinberg hits that one directly to Bridgers up the middle, steps on second to get the force out there, and the inning comes to the end.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Your score after 1.
So, after 1, still 0-0, but the Jumbos have struck first in the hit game. Sorry to Rhea Coons, but your no-hitter will not come in this game. DeCoco set to take the circle and face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters 4, 5, and 6, excuse me, hitters for the Mules. That will be Berman, Pallett, and Mahey. You know, it's lovely weather we have here today, Sam.
75 and sunny. The only complaint that we have is that wind is howling in from center field. Could take away a couple of fly balls that maybe would have gone out on either a neutral or day where the wind is blowing out. So certainly what pitchers DeCoco and Coons would like from that circle. But if you're a hitter, you know, not the day for you. Got to play a little bit more on the ground, you know, small ball like Jimenez did there in that previous inning.
That's just part of what comes with being in Medford. I mean, Sure, I may only be a sophomore, soon to be junior now that finals are over, but in my 2 years here, I don't think I've ever seen a day that hasn't been windy.
Yeah, Jordan, it's something that we talk about on when we're playing over next door at Huskins Field. We call it the wind tunnel, or the great equalizer.
I like that. I'm a fan. Certainly better than the bellow breeze. No offense to the bellow breeze, but not a huge fan of that. Berman swinging first pitch, fouls that one off. But yet again, we saw that pitch moving towards the outside edge.
Yeah, and it's going to be a pretty common theme here. DeCoco likes to work away to these hitters, so we'll see if the Mules can adjust.
Well, the small adjustment seems to be trying to hit the ball the other way, whether that's a product of the swing, the attack strategy, or just the sheer amount of spin that DeCoco puts on the ball is yet to be seen, as yet another foul ball will put DeCoco ahead 0-2. Not a huge strikeout pitcher, but she certainly has the stuff to get strikeouts if she needs it.
Yeah,
Jacobson tried to frame that one.
Just misses outside there. It's also going to be interesting to see if we get more moving closer into that hole, as she actually takes a step to her left, so leaving that middle pretty wide open.
Ball 2 comes into Berman, finds herself even in the count after being behind 2-2. All pitches have been to that outside part of the plate. Maybe change things up and go inside. Berman just getting a piece of that one. Staying alive in the at-bat.
Yeah, I mean, if you're DeCoco, the trick here is really just to keep that hitter off balance, and Berman adjusting well to that inside pitch, so we'll see where she goes with this one.
Right back to the outside, but that ground ball is directly to Russo, picks it up, and yet again, the inning starts with out number 1 being 3U.
Yeah, and that's going to be a pretty common theme if we keep seeing DeCoco paint that outside corner. Really just nothing that Berman could do with it except for try to slap it through that right side, and just off the end of the bat finds the glove of the Jumbos there.
Swinging first pitch, had a couple of fans walk in the way, so not quite sure if she made contact and fouled that one straight down. I'm being told that she did. So contact was made, but it was fouled directly into the dirt from Pallet. Contact yet again, grounded over to Moore. Quick toss over to Russo, and they're 2 away in this inning.
Yeah, Jordan, if we take a look at the outs here, we've got 2 3Us, 2 4-3s, and a P1. So DeCoco using that outside half really well and keeping the hitter off balance when she comes inside, getting that pop-up and really just beating these hitters. So we're going to see if she can continue with that strategy the whole way through, or if the Mules, make a little bit of an adjustment. Of course, there's a reason that her ERA is as good as it is, and she's ranked in the top 25 for pitchers.
Well said, Sam. Ball 1 coming in to Kaya Mahey, second baseman today. Hitting .271 on the season. Does have a home run to her name. But that one is slowly grounded to DeCoco. Picks it up. Off-target throw. Russo had to come off the bag. The ball will go into right field, but Mahey had just turned around to see that the ball was not caught by the first baseman, Russo, so she had no time to move over to second.
Yeah, and DeCoco trying to get down there and make that play, but seemed like a beautifully placed swinging bunt. So they'll give her the well-deserved hit for hustling down the line. It's going to be the pitcher now, Kuhn, stepping in.
Mahey 2 for 2 on steal attempts this season. See if she's moving. 2 out, and the pitcher, or the shortstop, Bridgers, excuse me. Still used to thinking that she was going to come in and pitch this game. 0-1 to Bridgers. Just move past it. High pitch. Jacobson looking over at first base, choosing not to throw. It counts even at 1s.
Yeah, not much of a threat there on the base paths from Mahey, but Coons can definitely drive this right back at DeCoco.
Off of her glove, but with plenty of time for a throw over to Russo to get the out. That ball was hit hard, just barely not enough time to
One left on base.
pick that one up herself on the line, but great job deflecting it down. Ball didn't get too far away from her, and she had more than enough time to throw out Coons, excuse me. Now, taking a look down at my my scorecard here, Sam, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 outs have featured Nicole Russo.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly a pretty common theme if you're expecting a lot of ground balls from DeCoco. So if the Jumbos can continue to keep that ball in the infield, expect for Russo to make a lot more of those putouts. But, of course, DeCoco unable to make that play on the swinging bunt, first hit for Muhlenberg. So both teams at 1 hit through 1.5 frames. Jumbos due up here is going to be Moore, Newman, and Jacobson.
That's the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Most notably, we'll mention Emma Jacobson, seeing her first playing time in a hot second. She sat out for most of the NESCAC tournament. Carrie Ann Slayton was catching those games, but Jumbos were looking to change some things up after losing the NESCAC championship game, and that change has come in the form of Emma Jacobson.
Now Rachel Moore to lead off for the Jumbos, hitting .297 on the year with her on-base percentage at .350, slugging .398.
Coons finds the inside edge there for strike number 1. Moore down 0-1 now. Gets a really high pitch. Didn't even give that one a thought of swinging. Coons looking to go back to that pitch in the upper third of the strike zone. Not quite finding the edges there. And Moore's ahead 2-1. Make it 3-1. As yet again the pitch in the upper third, that time in the middle, is just too high.
Yeah, Coons missing high on those past 3 balls. Of course, missing outside on the first 2 as well, but trying to establish the upper half of the zone here, just a little too high.
Make that 4 in a row, and a walk will be issued to Rachel Moore.
Moore a threat on the base paths for the Jumbo. She's got 12 steals on the season. 7 doubles and 2 home runs for her, but the 12 steals, we're going to see if Coach Epstein gives her a sign. Looks like Karmazin's going to play well in front of the bag, expecting a bunt here from Newman.
Well, Newman swinging first. Karmazin in enough to try and get a double play. However, the speedy Moore beats out the throw, and everyone's safe. Jumbos have 2 on now and nobody out as Emma Jacobson will step into bat.
Yeah, and the failed fielder's choice there moves Moore over to second base. So now Jumbos have 2 and 1 in scoring position with no outs in the second.
It was a great defensive plan there. Karmazin creeping in. Definitely had a chance for the double play there, but the speed of Moore was just too much. Bunt, but that one's up in the air, and it falls down, and yet again, everyone is safe. Missed throw by the catcher, deep into right field, and Moore beats the throw in, and the runners will advance as well. Jumbos strike first there on the board with 1 and no out with runners on second and third.
And Emma Jacobson fired up at second base as the Jumbos score first here at Spicer Field. They're going to have runners on second and third with no outs after the base hit and the error on the catcher to put that one into left field.
Cicchetti had a chance to try and get the runner at third in Rachel Moore. It was actually a smart play when you think about it. If you let that ball fall, Moore and Newman were not prepped to run. However, once they saw the ball start to fall and they realized that no one was going to make a play, they just took off, and the speedy Moore was able to beat out the throw.
Yeah, and
of course, the throw was also wild,
right,
which is how she comes around to score.
The Jumbo's a little lucky there, too. Jacobson popping up that bunt, neither the catcher, Cicchetti, nor Coons could get to it. So Jacobson finds herself now at second base with no outs, and it's going to be Russo.
Russo hitting that one hard and up the middle. That'll bring home at least one. Jacobson's being held at third, and on the throw home, well over the head of Cicchetti, Russo moves over to second. Jumbos tack on another one and keep the inning going as there are still no outs and now 2 runners in scoring position for Kat Yusufpolsky.
Yeah, and a nice piece of hitting there from the Jumbos. Of course, Russo putting that one right back where it was pitched, right up the middle, and the Jumbos now lead 2-0 with no outs here in the second inning.
Certainly love to see that from Nicole Russo. She struggled a bit as Yusupolsky tries to lay down a bunt, bring home another run, or maybe just get herself on board. That one fouled off, but as I was saying, you'd love to see that from Russo. She struggled a bit throughout that NESCAC tournament. She is dealing with a small shoulder injury, but seemingly no problem there as that ball was hit with force. The 0-1 from Yusupolsky is drilled foul.
Yeah, and a really good job by Yusupolsky trying to put that one in front of Reichelt, but just a little bit foul. Pat on the back from her teammate Murphy, and it's going to be an 0-2 count to Yusupolsky.
Coons ahead at 0-2 now. Could desperately use a strikeout, but will not find the outside edge that time, and thus a ball is issued.
Yeah, and a close pitch there by Yusupolsky. Good eye taking it, seeing some distance between the white and the yellow of the ball.
You might not see it in her, I believe, current .217 batting average, but she's got a good eye.
Yeah, Jordan, I mean, you're not going to see that with the batting average, but if you take a look, her on-base percentage is about 110 points higher, so clearly in the lineup for a reason.
Just making contact on the inside pitch, so she's not going to go down to the strikeout just yet. And yet again, the count will be 2-2. That one hit foul, and we will do 2-2 again.
Good at-bat here from Yusupolsky. I believe this is going to be the 6th pitch of the at-bat.
Yusupolsky looking up in the zone for that one, gets underneath it, fouls it back. Fans seemingly a little bit scared. I guess that must have hit off of the top of the net.
Yeah, and we don't have a great angle at it, but based on the way that the catcher just kind of threw that one right back to the pitcher, that must have been it.
Speaking of back to the pitcher, Yusupolsky hitting that one right up the middle again, and that brings home 2, and the Jumbos have put up a 4 spot so far here in the second, and still no one's out.
Yeah, another great piece of hitting from Yusupolsky. That ball elevated on the outer half, and she just hits it right where it was pitched, out of the reach of the second baseman, Mahey. And it looks like we're going to see a pitching change already for the Muhlenberg Mules. Didn't quite catch the number on her, but it looks like number 10 for the Mules, excuse me.
That's going to be Justine Bergara. Coming in today, 51 2/3 innings pitched, a 4.06 ERA. And we'll see if this change from the Mules is going to have any positive effect as the Jumbos have come alive here in the second inning of this game.
Yeah, Jordan, sometimes when you bring in a new pitcher, what you're looking for is a new look for the hitters, keep them off balanced. And it's something that the Jumbos have not looked so far in this game. They've seemed very balanced at the plate, very disciplined. It looked like Yusupolsky knew exactly where that ball was going, and she's able to punch it right into center field. So Jumbos now have runner on first, nobody out here, and a 4-0 lead in the second inning.
Maggie Murphy, now the batter, batting first in the order, which means that you have the ever scary Michelle Edelman in the on-deck circle. Thinking about swinging, decides not to, maybe should have, as that pitch finds the inside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, and we've already seen two different speeds here from Bergara. We saw that fastball low and inside that caught the corner. It looked like a little bit of a slider on the outside, definitely slower with that second pitch. So we're going to see if that keeps Murphy off balanced.
That one's too far inside for ball 2. Seems to be the attack strategy is work those edges of the plate. Outside, but not on the edge. See if you can get Murphy to chase and inside and try and nick the zone. That one's hit foul. Two and two the count now to Murphy. Yusupolsky has 2 steals on the season, so not quite something that you'd expect the Jumbos to do here, especially with the 4-run lead.
And a good changeup on the outer half, but well off the plate for Murphy. So she'll watch it, and 3-2 count here.
The payoff pitch is high, ball 4, and Yusupolsky will trot on to second as Murphy takes first. Second walk of the inning for the Jumbos. First one coming to Rachel Moore to start off the inning. She later came around to score. And now Edelman will step into bat.
Still no
high ball 1.
Still no outs here for the Mules. And the most dangerous part of the lineup now coming up for the Jumbos.
I pitch outside, ball 2. You said it well, Sam. Most dangerous part of the lineup is this 2-3-4 slot. You have Edelman and Steinberg, both first team all NESCAC, both of which are hitting above 350 as that ball drops into the strike zone. Edelman did not have a great read on that one. And those two batters, as picking up where I left off, Edelman and Steinberg surrounding, that ball is ripped foul, but that was crushed. Beautiful turn, just about 80 feet foul.
Yeah, doing a really good job to stay on top of that ball, not pop it up. Of course, elevated in that zone is where Bergara has been attacking, so we'll see if she goes to it again.
Double play ball from off the bat of Edelman, hit directly to the first baseman, Berman, stamps the left foot down to get Murphy out as well. So what was once no outs is now 2.
Yeah, and really just a tough break for the Jumbos. Edelman doing a good job going with that pitch, but just right at Berman, and the Jumbos now have a runner still in scoring position, but 2 outs in the inning.
Jimenez the batter now. Swinging at an inside pitch, foul. So if we've learned anything about Bergara in this inning, it's that she likes high and she likes inside. As she seemingly goes inside again, that ball hit up in the air, Bridgers underneath it, and she'll reel that one in to end the inning. But the damage has been done as the Jumbos put up a 4 spot in the bottom of the second.
4 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. Your score after 2, Tufts University 4, Muhlenberg College 0.
Heading into the 3rd inning, DeCoco will take the circle now with a 4-run lead at her back, and it will be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for the Mules. That's Bridgers, Reichelt, and Karmazin. Looking to put a dent in the Jumbo's lead.
Yeah, really just an excellent job by the Jumbos to put up a crooked number there. All started on that walk from Rachel Moore. Of course, a little unlucky there. Hard hit ball from Michelle Edelman just right at the first baseman. So We're going to see if Muhlenberg can respond here. Of course, that bottom of the lineup with Bridgers, Reichelt, and Karmazin due up for the Mules. Here in the top of the third, Mules are trailing 4.
Bridgers has looked excellent defensively so far today. We'll see what she has to offer with her bat.
Leading off the shortstop, number 12, Cora Bridgers.
Bridgers was named to the first team in the Centennial Conference, largely in part due to the work that she can give you from the circle. Hits that one directly to Rachel Moore, and she'll pick up the liner for out number 1.
Yeah, Jordan, just before you said that, I was going to say she's in there for her glove, most likely, considering her 118 batting average. And she's given them a serviceable glove, but a good hard-hit ball. Rachel Moore just placed perfectly. Coach Epstein seems to have her, pitching strategy figured out there.
You can argue that a 118 batting average is certainly scary, as the bunt attempt from Reichelt goes foul. As I was saying, you can argue that a 118 batting average is not something that you want featured in your lineup. However, that was, so far at least, the best hit ball that the Mules have had. That was off the ground. It was hit well. Just happened to be directly to Rachel Moore. 0-1 now. We'll see if Reichelt tries to bunt again. Instead, swings under a pitch. Now down 0-2. DeCoco looking for her first strikeout now. Not something that you see a lot from her, but she would certainly welcome one, as she does not have the outside edge against the lefties.
Yeah, Reichelt, the first lefty that we're seeing here in this lineup.
Only lefty in the game, unless there's a switch hitter I don't know about. That ball is hit hard and foul. The ducking Muhlenberg third base coach saw that one coming right at them and had to move out of the way.
Reichelt, the 227 hitter.
That one hit softly to the shortstop Steinberg with an aggressive throw over to first base. Just barely gets Reichelt for out number 2.
And a good job by Steinberg to keep her feet moving underneath that ground ball and fire it to first base. Dug out by Russo. And now the dangerous Karmazin back up to the plate for the Mules.
Her last time up, she grounded out right to the first baseman, Russo. We'll see what her second time up has in store as she takes strike 1.
Yeah, important to note, Jordan, the second time through the order is often the most difficult because you've seen the pitcher already. You're looking for your revenge if you got sent down the first time. And DeCoco's got to show her something a little bit different. Probably not her best sequencing in the second time through the order, but, I'd still give her a chance here. 1-1 count, still pretty even, but 2 outs for her here in this top third.
The 1-1 pitch from DeCoco is inside, hit directly to Maggie Murphy with an excellent pick off of the one hop. Throw on over to Russo will get out number 3, and the Jumbos will come up for their turn at bat in the third after setting down the Mules 1-2-3. Josie Steinberg set to lead off the bottom of the third inning for the Jumbos. Her last time up, She hit a ground ball to the shortstop Bridgers, who then stepped on second base to end the inning. However, with no outs, it's going to be a little bit hard for that situation to happen again.
Leading off for the Jumbo shortstop, number 4, Josie Steinberg.
Vergara still on the mound for the Mules, facing Steinberg for the first time. And comes at her with an inside pitch yet again. That time, not going to find the zone, though.
Interestingly, this is Steinberg's first season at Tufts without her older sister.
Hard hit ball bobbled by Bridgers, and she will not even attempt a throw over to first base. Steinberg hustling out of the box, and she will reach on the E6.
Now batting second base, number 20, Rachel Moore.
Now, Sam, you alluded to this a little bit. Her first time playing a full season without her sister Mia. She's also filling in that spot at shortstop. Remember, Josie played last season as the catcher, but now with a hole in the shortstop position, she has stepped into it herself and has performed rather excellently from there. Although she has had some problems defensively, I believe 10 errors on the season. Last time up, Moore walked, finds herself down 0-2 in the count now.
Yeah, Steinberg's got 9 errors on the season. But starting a rally here for the Jumbos, Moore down 2-0. First time behind on the day for her. She walked in her first appearance.
The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed for Moore, and Vergara finds not only her first strikeout, but the first strikeout of the game.
Now batting right fielder, number 6.
As Moore goes down swinging. Newman, her last time up, hit a hard hit ball to the third baseman Karmazin, who tried to force a double play. However, the speed of Newman and of Moore prevented both of those outs from happening. First pitch was swung on and fouled.
Lindsey Newman from Pound Ridge, New York. First year playing for the Jumbos. She's got a 3.08 average on the season.
And potentially increasing here as yet again, with the runner on first, Newman has that time a soft hit ball just behind the circle and in front of the shortstop Bridgers. Bridgers trying to get the out at second. However, the speed of Steinberg too much to get her at second. The little toss was not enough, and Newman safe at first yet again. This time on a base hit.
Sometimes it's the knocks that just find holes and can hit the ground that get you base runners that win the ball game. We saw Jacobson starting that rally earlier with that bunt popped straight up that ended up scoring a run for the Jumbos, and now they've got 2 on off the soft hit ball from Newman.
Good cut there from Jacobson, fouls one back. You know, you love to see it a little bit more when a freshman's performing well in a high-stakes situation like this tournament. Then you take even more pride when it's someone from your home state. As Jacobson hits that one softly, potential to get her at first, and they will on the throw from Bridgers. Runners will advance, though.
Now batting the designated player, number 11.
However,
Nicole
there are
Russo.
2 outs now, and Nicole Russo up to bat. Her last time up had that single up the middle that brought home 2.
So 2 runners in scoring position for the Jumbos, and Russo, who smacked the ball right back up the middle in the second.
Pitch number 1 to Russo going to be outside. First time that she's facing Vergara. It was her hit followed by the Yusuf Polsky single, which brought out Coons, as that foul ball went directly into Kat Yusuf Polsky. She seems okay, though. Coach gave her a thumbs up. She nodded back, so I think all's good there. 1-1 to Russo. And she takes just outside for ball 2. Bergara shrugging that one off. She really wanted that pitch. Two one now. Big fly well behind us, so fouled out of play.
Yeah, Jordan, interestingly, one thing that I caught hold of just now is Newman on second base, giving her a little bit of a sign, looking at where Cicchetti is lining up with relation to the batter's box as they're going to check out Russo here.
I mentioned it earlier. She is dealing with a shoulder injury on her left arm. It's been bothering her for the latter half of the season. So much so that in the NESCAC championship game, she had to come out when it was her turn up to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning. And with a powerful foul ball like the one she just had, I'm sure some of that shock is taking a toll right now. But after taking a practice swing, stretching out a little bit, she seems fine, and she's going to step back in to finish off this at-bat.
But if you can, take a look at Newman at second base as well, just to get back to that. See if, see if Russo's getting any signs from her.
Another strong foul ball. Russo reaching out of the zone for that one. 2 strikes, trying to protect the plate. We'll have the 2-2 pitch again. Russo sitting on that one, and off the bounce, picked up by Bergara. Throws Russo out at first, and the inning will come to a close. With runners on, Bergara seemingly calm, cool, and collected, puts up a 0 spot against the Jumbos. We enter the 4th inning now here in game number 1 of this regional part of the NCAA tournament. Due up for the Mules will be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Cicchetti, Zach, and Berman. All 3 of those players in their previous appearances were retired. And we'll see if they can spark any sort of an offense here for the Mules, or if the Jumbos and Sophia DeCoco will continue to be dominant in this game. Cicchetti now in at bat. Last time up, she popped up to the pitcher and takes first pitch ball. Again, Sam, it's that first pitch to the outside edge.
Yeah, and it's something that DeCoco has really tried to establish this entire game. Now Cicchetti getting her second look at it.
That ball is hit well and hard out into left center field, and the running Yusupolski manages to reel that one in, and she is amped. She had a long run out from left field, but she managed to pick that one up to retire Cicchetti.
Now batting center fielder, number 9, Jillian Zach.
Yeah, really just an excellent play by Yusupolski. We saw her ranging over there pretty well. Almost had a collision after the play between her and Edelman, but Yusupolski able to reel it in and keep DeCoco in this game. 1 out for the Jumbos. They lead 4-0.
You know, for a moment, I almost thought that was going to be Cicchetti's first home run of the season. Wind might have taken that one down as it is blowing straight back towards home plate.
That's right, Jordan. We talked about it earlier, but that wind definitely howling in, could steal some home runs today.
No go on the check swing there from Zach. She's ahead 2-0 in the count.
Zach, a hitter who normally hits for extra bases, she's got a .538 slugging percentage with 5 home runs and 10 doubles on the year.
And yet today seems to have 2 groundouts. First one 4-3, this one 6-3. On the strong throw from Steinberg. 2 out now, Berman set to step into the box. Came into today hitting .281 on the year. She's consistent for about a hit a game so far. Hitless today as DeCoco finds the inside edge. That one hit high in foul territory, just out of the reach of Russo and over into the Mules bullpen.
Berman, the freshman from Sussex, New Jersey, stands at a tall 5'9", tall enough for first base for this Mules team, but down in the count now, 0-2 with 2 outs.
The 0-2 pitch. Half swing. She went around. DeCoco gets her first strikeout, and the inning comes to a close. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Jumbo's up 4-0.
Due up for the Jumbos, number 25, Kat Yusupolsky, 9, Maggie Murphy, number 2, Michelle Aylward.
Don't you think this umpire has a tighter, better strike zone than some of the other ones? They were calling pitches, I thought, a bit outside of strikes. Probably why he's here.
It works very well in our favor because when this pitcher is throwing everything inside, actually having like the ability to say what's a ball and what's a strike is very helpful.
Yeah, this is as good as I've seen Sophia pitch. You know, I know she's a great player. I haven't seen all the games I've seen. She really has it today.
I don't know if you've heard us say that she's a top 25 player.
Oh, I know the whole thing. Yeah.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Jumbos will be Kat Yusupolsky, coming off of her fantastic defensive play. She had a 2 RBI single her last time up. With no one on, no RBI in play, aside from the home run ball. But we'll see if she can carry some of that magic that she had in her defensively into her bat as she faces Bergara. First pitch inside. Quite the contrast to DeCoco's first pitch outside. The 1-0 from Yusupolsky's fouled back.
Yeah, and Jordan, one of the reasons that Bergara can work inside first, and outside second is she's got that secondary pitch. Her changeup today has been excellent and has been keeping hitters off balance the whole way through. So we're going to see how well she can utilize that mix.
Going to that inside pitch again. Hasn't found it so far in this at-bat. Both of those pitches have been balls. Yusupolsky's ahead 2-1. That secondary pitch outside for ball 3. Maybe I'm seeing something, Sam, but in that pitch to the outside, is she telling it a bit? I feel like she's taking a small motion to her right when she's trying to throw that pitch, as Yusupolsky takes a big turn on one and rips it foul.
Yeah, Jordan, I mean, something that's interesting here is the way that Bergara starts on that, really, she's starting on that right side of her body. So she's coming all the way across the plate to get that ball outside. So maybe telegraphing it just a hair.
Bergara thrilled with herself on that one. The off-speed pitch well in the strike zone. Yusupolsky swinging just underneath it. And out number 1 will come up for the Jumbos, or for the Mules, rather. And Maggie Murphy, now the batter. Murphy 0 for 1 today. Did walk her last time up in the second. As we see another first pitch inside be called ball. 1-0 now. Inside and taken again for ball 2.
Bergara struggling to find that inside part of the plate. Throwing a couple out of the strike zone and falling behind hitters. Of course, Yusupolsky taking a dangerous hack, but going down swinging. We'll see what Murphy can do with it here ahead, 2-0.
She's going to get that off-speed pitch, which looked excellent right there, moving away from Murphy and underneath her bat. She swung right over that one. Didn't have a chance.
Yeah, it's really tough for hitters when you're giving them a couple of pitches that you're mixing well, and she's got them all today.
Goes right back to it. Murphy with a good eye, though, sees that one's well outside. Ball 3. 3-1 now, Sam. What do you think? Do you take?
I think she's going to that slider away.
And Murphy turns on that one, foul.
Yeah, clearly disagreeing with me, going back to that fastball. We've seen her go back to that same pitch twice now behind 3-1, so I'd expect that pitch to be a setup for the slider now away. I mean, you've got to be aggressive at anything even close to the zone, so full count here to Murphy with 1 out. She's got to be ready for anything.
Maybe she goes back to the same pitch she got Yusupolsky swinging with. Off speed low. Can't quite find the strike zone there, and Murphy issues her second walk. Or earns her second walk, excuse me. Edelman now up with 1 out. Of course, the last time that she had that situation, she lined into a double play to Berman on a sharply hit ball. First pitch to Edelman. Outside ball 1.
That's one of the first outside fastballs that we've seen from Bergara. Just working so well inside with that fastball. Missing a couple, but falling behind again now to Edelman.
One-0 pitch driven well into center field by Edelman. A hard hit. Bobbling that ball in center field was Jillian Zach. However, the ball didn't get too far away from her, and the runners were holed at first and second on the base hit from Michelle Edelman.
Yeah, really nice piece of hitting, turning on that inside fastball, shooting it right back up the middle. And Jumbos now have runners on first and second with Jimenez coming up to the plate. Jimenez, we saw her roll one through the left side. Bridgers didn't have enough time to throw her out at first base and pop up to that left side. So it's going to be Karmazin and Bridgers that need to be ready here.
Popped up and well foul. 3 Mules in chase, but no chance to make a play on that one. Now, key note about that hit from Edelman, Sam. With that hit, all of the Jumbos lineup has now successfully reached base, and 7 of the 9 have hits, or excuse me, 6 of the 9 have hits. The 0-1 to Jimenez takes that pitch high, ball 1.
Yeah, Jordan, it's really something special when you can hit top to bottom, or at least fight up there top to bottom, and the Jumbos have done it today, and it shows on the scoreboard with that 4-0 lead, 6 in the hits column.
That ball hit high, but not out of the infield. Bridger settles in underneath that for out number 2. Josie Steinberg now the batter as 10 becomes 4 with that pop out from Bella Jimenez. Last time up, Steinberg reached on an error by Bridgers. Made her way to third base, but couldn't find her way home. As she takes a big swing directly to Bridgers, and back-to-back P6s will end the inning for the Jumbos.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. Your score after 4 innings of play: Tufts University 4, Muhlenberg College 0.
We head into the top of the 5th inning now as DeCoco runs out to the circle, which she has dominated from so far today. With the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Mules, that's Pallet, Mayhe, and potentially Coons. She is listed to hit in that spot. However, with her being taken out of the game as the pitcher, we'll see if she's left in there as the batter. Sam, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. DeCoco showed them pretty much the same that she showed all of the hitters all day so far. So with Pallet, Mayhe, and Coons coming up to the dish, they've got to be expecting that fastball on the outer half of the plate. And the way that you can beat that, really, as a right-handed hitter is you can try to slap that through the right side. Of course, that's taken away a little bit by Rachel Moore playing further towards first base. Or you can try to lay one down. And we know that Jacobson has struggled to get up behind the plate a couple of times. DeCoco trying to do it all herself. But, of course, you don't want to wear her out here in a double elimination tournament. So we're going to see what we're really going to see what Coach Leavenworth goes with the offensive approach. But in my opinion, you've got to try to slap something through the right side, get anything going, and you've got to be expecting fast, fast, fast. That's all DeCoco has shown you today. And so you've got to be sitting that speed. It's just going to be a matter of location. And, of course, with Rachel Moore playing so close to first base, that middle is pretty susceptible.
Very well said, Sam. First pitch outside from DeCoco, not in the zone. Jacobson not catching that one, but knocking it down and keeping it in front of her.
Right, Jordan. And the other thing that's interesting here is that DeCoco has been ahead of so many hitters today. Here she's fallen behind, and we're going to see if we get a different look.
That ball hits softly to Steinberg. Strong throw over to Russo for out number 1.
Now batting second base, number 55.
Sam, you've talked a lot about trying to slap one through the right side, but you can't help but notice the massive opening right near second base. Just the entire middle of the field is open.
Right, and Coach Epstein has put on this shift with the corners and really the middle playing so far out to the right. But you've got to be trying to put something through the middle at this point. Hit anything that you can down and hard. We saw Pallet doing it there, but just too far to the left side. Steinberg able to make a play on it. So we'll see what Mayhe can do ahead 1-0 in this count.
As much as DeCoco is a fastball or fast pitch style of a pitcher, she does have a lot of spin on her pitches. So maybe this defensive scheme is based off of that. When you hit a pitch with that much spin, maybe that's just where the ball is expected to go. As that one is grounded to Russo, she'll take that one herself for out number 2. But maybe that's exactly what it is. These hitters are trying to hit it up the middle, but off contact, the amount of spin just forces it to go to where the defense is currently positioned.
Right, and at that point, it's really all about bat speed. How hard can you hit it out once it's coming in? So DeCoco really just dominating this Mules lineup top to bottom so far. 2 outs here in the 5th.
I believe this is Bergara now hitting in this spot in replace of Coons. I did wonder earlier whether or not Coons would still be hitting despite the fact that she had been taken out of the game. But Bergara is in, battling against her counterpart DeCoco. Takes a big swing there, fouled it off, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, and that's one of the first pitches that we've seen elevated for the Mules, and it just really beat Bergara high and tight. Bergara not able to get enough bat speed around to get the barrel on it, and fouling it off to the right side. It could be a setup pitch at this point to go back to that low and away heater.
Jacobson seemingly going there, not quite low. Bergara sees the height of that one perfectly. Got barrel on the ball, but sliced it foul. Home plate umpire going to check the ball he was just handed. Make sure it's all set in order. One-two pitch from DeCoco. Well outside, ball 2.
And Jordan, this isn't something that I noticed until just now. It seems that every single player on the infield has a wristband on them that tells them what the pitch is, and they can move based on where the pitch location is supposed to be. So we saw Rachel Moore, the second baseman, after catching the pitch from Coach Epstein, actually take 2 steps to her right. And it's just interesting, trying to change your defensive alignment based on the pitch coming in, and it seems to have worked so far. These defenders have been placed perfectly.
I think that might be a product of the spin, as that pitch is outside for ball 3. If you know the type of pitch and you know the spin that's being put on it, then you know where you might have to kind of cheat over towards in order to be where the ball might go, as the payoff pitch from DeCoco is low, and she will issue her first walk of the day.
It's going to be just the second runner to reach base all day as well, and Bridger's now coming up. Of course, we know she's in the lineup for her glove, making an error earlier. We'll see if she can pay it forward here with the base hit.
Her last time up lined directly to the second baseman, Rachel Moore. And I don't know if you said it, Sam. Did you say it was just the infielders who have the little wrist marker on, or did you say it was everyone? Because the outfield's got them too.
I just saw that as well. I saw Newman take a peek down at her left arm. So it seems like the entire defensive alignment based on the pitch that's coming in.
And that hit well. Going to drop in front of Newman and get behind her as well. Bergar is being sent from third as the throw from Newman is coming in, but nowhere near in time. They'll look to throw it to third, and everyone is safe. The runner comes in, Bergara, coming in at home after her walk off of what I would have to imagine is a base hit from Bridgers with the advancement on an error.
Right, so I think that run's going to be unearned considering where the runners were before the pitch, but really just a tough blunder there from Newman, letting that spin get the best of her over in right field, and taking all the way around to third base was Bridgers. Not sure if she'll get the RBI for it, but coming around to score is going to be Bergara, and the Mules have found themselves now on the board trying to claw their way back into this one. They still trail 3 with 2 outs here in the 5th.
Great base running being called from the Mules coaching staff, able to realize that once that ball had gotten past Newman, there was plenty of time for Bergara to score and plenty of time for Bridgers to find her way to third. So now a runner 60 feet away from scoring, and the batter will be Reichelt. The lone lefty today, aside from the pitcher DeCoco.
It's going to be important here for DeCoco to keep her composure, know what she's capable of, because just an unlucky bounce there is what had that run cross.
First pitch swinging right back to DeCoco, picks that one out of the air, quick to first base, and that is how the inning will end, with Bridgers stranded on third. But not after one run comes in for the Mules, cutting the jumbo lead now to 3 as we head into the bottom of the 5th. And Sam, you know what that means. As we head into the bottom of the 5th, we here at JumboCast have our own fun tradition, which we call the 5th inning flex, the softball counterpart to baseball's 7th inning stretch, coined by our very own Andrew Howe. And as per 5th inning flex plans, it is, for the jumbos at least, and we'll see how I choose to change this come game number 2, but it's how many or under what circumstances does the away team, in this case a Mule, take down a jumbo. Sam, tell me, how's it done?
Well, Jordan, I think what the Mule's going to have to do is take some piece of rope or anything really around their mouth and run around the legs of the jumbo as fast as they possibly can, then find a way to get the jumbo off balance so that it falls over, at which point the Mule will essentially be victorious, because I don't think that there's a way for the jumbo to get back up.
Did you just suggest that the Mule takes a page from Star Wars?
I did. As a matter of fact, I did.
Well, I mean, if it could work on a giant piece of metal machinery, I guess it could work on an elephant, even a jumbo elephant, but who am I to argue with futuristic space logic?
So now back to softball. It's going to be Rachel Moore stepping in for the jumbos. Behind her, it's going to be Newman and Jacobson. Rachel Moore got that second inning rally going with a walk, and struck out in her last appearance.
Bergara inside finds the strike zone now. So after reaching home plate in the last inning, she seems to have reestablished the strike zone and have had a nice momentum swing in her favor.
Yeah, she wasn't missing by much earlier in the game on that inner half, so nice to see her establish it.
That ball hit well from Moore. Tracing back is the right fielder, Amder, and reels that one in for out number 1 on the long fly out from Rachel Moore. Amder, not a name that we've said a lot today. She's being flexed out. Pitchers are hitting for the Mules today. First time we've said her name, and it was on an excellent piece of defense.
Yeah, but a nice job by Amder tracking that ball. It kept moving sort of away from her based on the angle that she was running at, but Moore ultimately unable to reach base. Again, we saw Bergara going to that outside changeup after the inside fastball, so we'll see if she keeps going with that.
Well, first pitch there was just high in the middle of the zone, or middle column of the zone. That Newman swung under that, fouled it back and out of play. 0-1 pitch outside, soft contact foul again, and Newman's behind 0-2.
Giving Newman a bit of a different look. She reached base on a single her last time up.
Also had a fielder's choice, which brought Moore over to second, and she later came around to score in that second inning. Soft hit back to Bergara, takes a couple of steps over before throwing down to Berman, but that will be out number 2. First time Newman's been retired today. Now Emma Jacobson, the batter. Had that bunt single, potentially just fell in front of the at the time pitcher Coons, or maybe was strategically dropped to try and get the out at third base. However, either way she reached, and she had a big turn on that one. That ball is going all the way back to the left field fence, and it will one hop in. Jacobson running into second, slides, and she has herself a 2-out double.
Really great piece of hitting. Jacobson turning on that inside fastball and putting it almost over that left field wall. It's 195 out there, and the wind seems to have calmed down just a little bit, but still blowing in a fair amount. Maybe on a less windy day, Jacobson's got a dinger.
195 out to that left field corner, and that ball was hit about 192. Didn't miss by much, and Jacobson finds herself on second with 2 out, and Nicole Russo the batter.
Jumbos now have a runner in scoring position for Russo, who drove in the second runs of the day, on a base hit back up the middle.
Russo taking a swing at that one, fouling it up, and Sam, I think you might have jinxed the weather, because as we take a look to that flag out in center field, she's moving.
Russo with 20 RBIs in 36 games this season, looking for another one here.
That one hit fair as it was played by the third baseman Karmazin. Not enough time after she dropped that one down off the deflection to get Russo out at first. Jacobson finds her way to third, and Russo safe at first now for Kat Yusuf-Polsky. Second base hit of the day for Russo.
Yusuf-Polsky also with an RBI today on a base hit in the second. That's 2 RBIs on the day with that base hit. So driving in half of the jumbo runs, looking for another one herself.
Big swing and a miss there from Yusuf-Polsky. Very welcomed by the pitcher Bergara.
Yeah, and really just a tough pitch to get to, high and tight.
The 0-1. Another swing and a miss. So after giving up back-to-back hits, Bergara is ahead of Yusuf-Polsky 0-2. Got her swinging twice, struck her out her last time up, and looking to do so again right now. The 0-2 pitch, taken well outside from Yusuf-Polsky. Good eye on that one after not seeing the first 2 pitches of her at-bat too well. Runners on first and third for Yusupolski. Takes the same exact pitch for ball number 2. Count has run even.
And a good job by Bergara to give Yusupolski a different look. Saw fast, fast, then slow, slow. And 2-2 count with 2 outs. We'll see what she goes to here.
Inside, taken for ball 3, and after being down 0-2, Yusupolski has worked the count full. Her last time up got an absolutely filthy off-speed pitch in the strike zone. She swung right underneath it. And we'll see if that's the call here for Bergara. That one hit high up in the infield. Settling underneath it is the catcher, Cicchetti, and she will reel that one in to end the inning and strand 2 more for the Jumbos. No runs there for the Jumbos, although things did look promising. Jumbos now only up 4-1 following the 5th inning run that the Mules were able to bring home. We head to the 6th. We enter the top of the 6th. Jumbo's up 4-1 against the Muhlenberg Mules. Top of the order due up for them, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Karmazin, Cicchetti, and Zach. Karmazin swinging first pitch foul.
And Jordan, this is Karmazin's 3rd time up today. First was a 3 unassisted, then a 5-3. So Karmazin going once to the right side, once to the left side. Going to expect the same look from DeCoco, but we'll see if she gets it.
Well, that one's up the middle over the reaching arm of Rachel Moore. Edelman, after seeing some defensive errors by her right fielder, not going to let that ball get past her. And Karmazin has gotten things started in the top of the 6th with a leadoff single. Cicchetti, now the batter, ended the last inning by catching a Kat Yusupolski foul ball.
Yeah, and Karmazin, one of the best players on this Muhlenberg team. Not too many steals, so not exactly a threat on the base paths, but she's hit for extra bases quite a bit. We'll see if Cicchetti can move her over. She's got 7 doubles on the season. Cicchetti also a .410 on base percentage.
Watches one drift outside for ball 1. And even if Cicchetti can't get it done here, you do have a very dangerous power hitter in Jillian Zach following her up, as DeCoco can't find the outside edge there, 2-1.
Yeah, and these are really not the hitters that you want to fall behind. Cicchetti, this is her 3rd time to the plate, and on the season hitting .360.
So what I'm hearing is statistically she's due.
Yeah, and as the count runs to 3-1, DeCoco behind, she's got to throw her best here.
And the best that she has is high and inside. Fouled right back at our cameraman. Did he jump at that? I think he might have jumped.
Not quite sure, but now the Jumbo crowd and the Muhlenberg bench getting into it, looking for a ball 4 versus strike 3 chant.
Well, we'll see what DeCoco has. And it is a ball hit well out into right field. Newman drifting over to foul territory will reel that one in, and the Jumbo fans seemingly happy about it.
Yeah, and there's the first out of the inning for DeCoco. Still a runner on first base for Muhlenberg. Muhlenberg only 3 hits on the day with 1 error as well. A walk from DeCoco, so only 5 base runners through 5 frames so far.
That's, I don't want to say standard for her. She certainly has had some rough games, but when she is locked in, she is locked in, and that is what has earned her a top 25 player in the nation's spot. Jacobson throwing back to first. That one gets behind Russo. Newman off balance, but picks that one up before it can get past her again, and the runner can move. So runner stay put on the throwback from Jacobson. Counts now 2-0 to Jillian Zach, 0 for 2 today. She herself is a .325 hitter, so yet again, statistically, she is due. That one's hit slowly to Steinberg. Takes the out at second herself. The slide did take out Steinberg as she was trying to throw over to first base. Gave a good enough throw that it does not get past the first baseman, Russo. Great job on her part to pick that one up out of the ground, but the lead runner was retired at second, and Zach takes her place at first.
Yeah, Steinberg can't be happy. Definitely got taken out at second base, but you saw Zach was running really well up the line. Would have been safe even with a throw, so the umpire not giving the interference call. And in steps Berman, the first-year first baseman.
Berman 0 for 2 today. Gets that one right past the glove of Russo. They're sending Zach at third, but a great throw from Newman is just off the mark and goes off the top of Maggie Murphy's glove, and with that, Berman will advance to second. So on a single and a missed throw and a miscatch being ruled an error, the runner will advance to third in Zach, and Maggie Murphy not being able to catch that ball freely enabled Berman to move over to second.
A little bit of a questionable error call. I mean, with 2 outs, you kind of expect a runner to get to third on a ball to the right side, especially going into right field, but error called on the advance to second on the rough throw. And it's going to be a pinch runner here for the Mules.
It's going to be number 22, Jane Benahan. She does have a stolen base on the season, so maybe that's a clue into her speed, trying to, on anything softer, potentially risky for a throw to home, just have a little bit more speed on the bags and cut this Jumbo lead to 1. There are 2 outs, however, as DeCoco sets in to face Pallett. First swing foul. So the Jumbos, while facing a scary situation, do have a positive side that they can turn to. Oh, 1 now. Hit softly right back to DeCoco. She picks it up. Throw over to Russo is caught, and the side will be retired. No damage done, and the Jumbos protect their 4-1 lead as they set to go up to bat for the bottom of the 6th, potentially their last time up, barring any problems in the 7th.
Due up for the Jumbos, number 9, Maggie Murphy, number 2, Michelle Edelman, number 10, Bella Jimenez.
You hearing that, Sam? Jumbo's crowd amped up. You asked earlier if there would be a great turnout, and I think we're seeing it right now.
Yeah, and if you're the Jumbo softball players, you've got to be fired up. You've got what seems like, I mean, obviously you're the home team here, but what seems like a home rather than a neutral site game. So looks like Berman is also going to re-enter and stay in the game at first base for Muhlenberg, and makes sense. All of her 5'9" frame at first, given a big target for her infielders. Seems like she's played most of her innings there at first base this season as well.
And that's a spot that's earned as a freshman. And she's proven why she's there today with that incredible snag she had for a double play, robbing Edelman of a hit. Edelman, someone we will see in this bottom of the 6th inning for the Jumbos. The leadoff hitters, or top of the order, excuse me, 1, 2, and 3. That's Maggie Murphy, Michelle Edelman, and Bella Jimenez due up to face up against Bergara, who has been pretty solid since she's entered the game after 4 runs were given up by her teammate Rhea Coons.
Yeah, and it's really all that you could have asked for Bergara, mixing in a couple of different pitches, showing the hitters a couple of different spin looks.
Murphy gets under that pitch inside. Drifting over is Bridgers, makes that catch in foul territory to retire Murphy and get the Mules their first out of the inning.
Now Edelman steps in. She reached base in the 4th on a base hit. She's 1 for 3 on the day.
First pitch to Edelman, outside, and she takes ball 1. This is now the second time that Edelman will be facing Bergara. First time up, she saw a pitch inside first, and now she's seeing this change of an outside pitch. So maybe that's the new attack strategy for the Mules as Bergara goes right back to inside. Edelman had no view of that one. She got tied up for strike 1. Outside ball 2.
Edelman hasn't seen too many pitches. Both her first and second time balls in play were on 2-1 counts. So ahead here 2-1.
Takes inside for called strike 2. Two and 2 now to the Jumbos number 2, who's also the 2-hitter, and she gets hit on the knee. Seems okay, she's running on over to first. But the hit by pitch will put Michelle Edelman on the bags.
Edelman 17 steals on the season, only been caught twice, so definitely one of the threats here for the Jumbos. Up 4-1 with 1 out, and now your 3-hitter hitting. We'll see if she decides to stay out there. Seems like she's putting on her oven mitt for a potential slide into second base.
Well, with a runner on and the Jumbos seemingly starting to struggle as we saw in their last inning, we're going to see a pinch hitter. Bella Jimenez is being pinch hit for. This is number 3, Kayla McCabe.
Yeah, and Jimenez got beat on 2 fastballs inside for those pop-ups. So looking for a different look here with McCabe.
McCabe is coming as a pinch hitter quite often for the Jumbos. Edelman took an extended lead, throwback from Cicchetti, not going to find her.
McCabe 24 for 60 on the season, hitting .345. Excuse me, that's 400 for the Jumbos, so looking to do some damage here.
This one fouled back, looking like it's out of play. Into the bleachers. No one able to catch that ball, though. So 1-1 the count now to McCabe. As you said, 400 hitter. She can certainly do some damage, has a couple of RBIs to her name as well. Edelman at first, not running, ground ball to the second baseman. Will get the speedy Edelman. However, on the throw over from Bridgers, Berman can't reel it in, and McCabe will be safe at first.
Yeah, really good job by McCabe to hustle up that line, but ball hit really hard on the ground. Bridgers unable to put that ball into the chest of Berman, And so it's just going to be 2 outs with a runner on first here for the Jumbos and the dangerous Josie Steinberg to the plate.
Credit where credit is due, though, Sam. Mahey had a excellent scoop and throw over to Bridgers to get the first out. And they almost had the double play, too, something that this team has certainly managed to put together. They have what I'm going to call an astounding 21 double plays in the season, which is almost 3 times as much as the Jumbos' 8. Steinberg hit that ground ball over to Bridgers, takes her time, beats the speedy Steinberg to first to retire the side. Well, we're now through 6, which means we've entered last up territory for the Mules. They are down 3. DeCoco back in the circle for the Jumbos. Only needs 3 more outs to put this one to a close and advance them to the next game in the winner's bracket of this double elimination style tournament. They will face, if they win, it is that they will face the winner of the following game between Cabrini and Rowan.
Yeah, and that Cabrini-Rowan game is the 1 versus 4, so this is the 2-3, of course, being played first because the Jumbos are the host, but Rowan, also the proud owners of a top 25 player on the year. It's going to be interesting to see whether we see her in the pitcher's circle as well in the next one. And really, in a double elimination game where you've got to go 3, you've got to win 3 at the very least, it's going to be interesting to see how far these pitchers can go. Of course, the Jumbos have 2 players in that NESCAC first team. 2 of them are pitchers in DeCoco and Sky Johnson. So Jumbos with a very formidable number 2 behind DeCoco. We're going to see if the Jumbos decide to go to her for game 2, whether that be against Rowan or Cabrini, because she's dealing right now, giving up only the 1, and of course unearned on that error in right field from Newman.
Well, when it comes to longevity of pitchers in softball, that's not as big of a deal as it is in baseball, where you have pitchers throwing their arms out and you need to consider rest days and stuff like that. Not quite a big deal in terms of softball pitchers, and especially for someone like DeCoco, who pitched every single game of the NESCAC tournament.
Right, if you're Coach Epstein, you definitely have to be wary of burnout at this point in the season, but DeCoco looking as strong as ever here in the 7th inning, adding a little bit of extra.
That ball grounded to Rachel Moore, quickly over to Russo, out number 1.
Now batting the pitcher, number 10, Justine Vergara.
And another out to the right side for the Jumbos here. It's got to be north of half of their outs have gone over to that right side. Can't count it up quite quickly enough, but DeCoco now looks into the next Mahey.
Well, what do we count ground outs to the pitcher or pop-ups to the pitcher? Is that just middle? Would we count that as middle?
Yeah, I'd say it's middle. Weak contact, but middle.
Well,
and excuse me, that's Bergara.
Speaking of ground balls to the pitcher, DeCoco wraps that one up over to Russo, out number 2, and now the Mules are down to their final out.
Now batting shortstop, number 12, Cora Bridgers.
Yeah, it's no question that DeCoco's put a lot of soft contact, or induced a lot of soft contact today. She's looking for her last out here. It's going to be Bridgers looking to extend.
Bridges, her last time up, had that base hit out to right field. That went under the glove of Newman and enabled Bergara, who was just retired, to come around and score the lone Mules run so far in this game. DeCoco painting the outside edge there, putting the count 0-2 now to Bridgers, and the Mules are potentially down to their final strike. Bridgers looking to fight. The 0-2, just outside.
And a great leave pitch by DeCoco, trying to put it up and out, make Bridgers chase. 1-2 the count now. Jumbos lead 4-1. DeCoco looking to shut him down.
The 1-2 pitch, even further outside, ball 2. 2-2 pitch from DeCoco is hit right back to Rachel Moore. Over to Russo, and that'll end the game. Jumbos win this one 4-1 to continue their stead in the winner's bracket. The Mules, due to a double elimination style bracket, do stay alive in this mini regional tournament. They will face the loser of the preceding game, which will take place in about an hour or so. And that will be right here on JumboCast. Both me and Sam will be back here for that one. So final score 4-1. Jumbos 4 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. And the Mules 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors. Jumbos advance in the winner's bracket. Mules down to the loser's bracket. We will be back here in an hour for Cabrini versus Rowan.